So I wanted to get Carnivore Coach Lisa's thoughts on cheat days.
I mean, who are you really cheating if you cheat? I don't want these. I just don't want to be obese anymore. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be in pain, sad. I want to be like Maggie in Canada. And I want to say, God, graciously gave that to me. I want to be that woman. There we go. Bam. There's the woman right there.
But just hypothetically, if you were on death row and you were going to die in a half an hour,
Last meal.
you could have a last meal.
We want people to come to Carnivore. We want them to get the healing, and we have to walk our talk. Every day, no matter what battle comes my way, as a warrior, I think of Maggie. What's that mindset? I can't do it? Or is your mindset, I can do it?
I love what you're doing. I've said this before. I don't lightly want to vouch for someone, but I vouch for Coach Lisa without any hesitation whatsoever. I've seen what you're doing. It's absolutely incredible. You've helped me. You've helped my wife. You've helped so many people too on our healinghumanity.life membership site. So again, we'll have a link in the description. I just want to shout this out quick. You guys have a giveaway coming up.
Yes, we're going to give away one full course to the winner of this drawing. And it's pretty simple. You just got to click into it and then you're automatically entered into there. And then we will be giving this away, giving them a full training course. And that does include full workouts, full whiteboard teaching, access to me 2 to 3 times a week, my own phone number and emailing. This is going to be a full package.
So I'll have a link below. You guys can enter to win that. Incredible. Coach Lisa, I get a lot of new carnivores that come to my YouTube channel or the membership site, and they do carnivore for a while and they kind of treat it maybe like Weight Watchers. Like, I did good all week. I'll have a cheat day on Saturday. So I wanted to get Carnivore Coach Lisa's thoughts on cheat days.
So again, this goes back to 1980, and I am going to be very specific with you on this because every single client I've ever worked with had over 60 pounds to lose. It wasn't, I took people to the stage that needed gain weight, but as far as weight loss goes, it was pretty much 50 and plus, right? Maybe 60 or more. And they would come in and they have these habits. We sit down, we go through a program. And I said, here's the deal. For the next 6 weeks, I want you to eat clean for 5 days. And then I want you to have a junk day. And then I want you to eat clean for 5 days and a junk day, the reward system, right? And they were like, are you kidding me? I go, yes, absolutely. I want you to wake up. Even if you went Monday through Friday and Saturday morning, you wake up and you're going to have Rocky Road ice cream for breakfast. You're going to have apple pie left over from yesterday, like whatever that looks like. I want you to indulge in it. And they were like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest program I've ever found. Now, mind you, at that time, I was low fat, high protein, and high carbs. So that's what they did. And they were all successful at losing weight. They were so dedicated to the reward that they were willing to follow every single step, the gym, the workouts, all of it Monday through Friday. And then sure enough, they would wake up on day 1 of Saturday, the first week, and they would eat whatever they wanted. And this would go on all day Sunday. And sometimes it would go over Saturday over to Sunday. And then on Monday, they would correct themselves and get right back into that focused lane. By 4 weeks into it, I would do measurements. We did, electropedience through measurements a different way for our body fat. And I would say, how are you feeling? And they're like, the weirdest thing is happening to me. I'm like, what? Are you okay? I mean, what's up? They're like, I don't want to wake up and eat ice cream anymore on my cheat day. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why? And they're like, I worked so hard all week. Why would I blow it for 1 day? And I was like, snap, we made it, right? Because now we're changing the mindset and the emotions and then the response to that. And the body was actually craving living that health lifestyle. So the last thing it wanted to do was cheat, because I don't think anybody wants to cheat on anything. You don't want to cheat on your test. Who are you really cheating if you cheat? You only cheat yourself. So of course I would train them for 3 workouts a week. I would meet with them, hype them up, pump them up, make sure they understood how much their body loves them right now. And by week 6, 6 weeks, that is nothing. I'd be like, now don't forget, you can eat anything you want tomorrow on after Friday's workout. And they'd come back in on Monday and I was like, how did your weekend go? Did you make good choices or whatever? They're like, I just ate my normal. I hope you don't mind. I just rolled it over and ate it Saturday and Sunday too. I didn't cheat at all. So the psychological side of cheating is being able to do something that only you can control. This control, this ability to say, I made this decision is so incredibly powerful. whether it's your career, not a job. You have a career. Why would you have a job? Like your parents told you to go do jobs, go work in the yard, whatever. Instead, you choose a career. You wake up every day passionate to be the best that you could be. Like for you, delivering this message to how many millions of people is your passion. That's who you are. You have found your niche in life. But if somebody isn't really in control of their own life and primarily their own food choices, they're going to always feel like somebody else is governing them. And rebellious nature is that's our first nature, is to be rebellious. And they literally want to push away from it. And there's an old saying, you give it to them and they don't want it. But if you take it away, they want all of it. Right. So you just have to give it to them. So let's go to carnivore and cheating. These people reach out to you. What do you mean cold turkey? Don't I get a cheat day or a treat day? Or shouldn't I do this or that? I see this influencer doing this. I heard the most amazing thing yesterday. I'm not going to repeat who it came from, but it's not the carnivore world. And this woman was talking and she said, you know, what's one of the most interesting thing about social media is that influencers are actually ignorant. Now, no offense to anybody, because I'm not an influencer, but I would love to be. But they are ignorant because they can take information, and because they're so well liked in their delivery, people will follow them. They'll follow anything out there, the 333, the sugar, the carnivore, the ketovore, so-and-so is doing this. I love them. I'm going to go follow them. You know, they're doing 400 push-ups a day. I'm going to go do 400 push-ups. No, you're not, right? But you like that person so much that you follow everything they say. But then if you go back to the doctor and the doctor says, you must do this because you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke if you don't, they just look at the doctor and they're like, you're just a stupid doctor. Now, which one really has the knowledge? Right. So we have to be awake. We must be aware of who we're following, why we're following them, and then evaluate your own decision so you are in control of making that decision. Whether you want to have a cheat day, you want to be keto, you want to be carnivore, locavore, ketovore, whatever you want to call them. There's so many of them. You really need to do what's right for you. But I will tell you, if you're an influencer, like Carrie, who walks his talk and is so sound in every bit of his conviction, has success, and it's sound information and it's working for you, why are you jumping ship? Why would you do a cheat day? Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You will regret it for years and years and years to come. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. I've heard so many stories of that too, where, oh, I did good on like some people had done carnivore for like a year or 2 years or something like that. And they're like, yeah, it was just this old dessert that I had a craving. I'm like, well, just one time. And inevitably, like, it's a crazy derailment every time that happens. It's never seems to be one time. It seems to turn into something larger. And then the other thing I always hear from people is, it's nothing like what I remembered it. They always say it tastes chemically or artificial. And then we're always joking.
Yes.
It is chemicals. It is.
Yes, and I have heard that several times. But let's talk about you and I for a moment, okay? Thanksgiving, it's not far away. Halloween is right here. Candy's everywhere, right? I was never a candy person. I mean, I will say I did eat a lot of boxes of hot tamales, but that was like a nervousness, and I don't smoke. So here I am justifying it with this candy going in, you know, driving down the road or whatever. Getting energy. But energy, that's such a false illusion. It's such a lie. But let's talk about Thanksgiving for a moment, Carrie. If you really thought about Thanksgiving, somewhere deep in your soul, do you miss pumpkin pie, or were you never a pumpkin pie lover?
You just nailed it. That would be the one. If I missed anything from Thanksgiving, yeah, it would have been pumpkin pie.
Same. Exact same. And I will tell you, 3 weeks ago, pumpkin season is the lattes and the pumpkin breads and spread the butter on it. And, you know, all the photos online, they're so peaceful looking and just going to have a little pumpkin, right? For me, and I think the same for you, I could be wrong. You could correct me. We could take that pumpkin pie and take one slice, and then we are going to be like a mouse on cheese all night long. Yeah. And we will eat it until it's gone. And then the next day, look at everybody and go, who ate the pumpkin pie?
Yep.
But really, we already knew who did it, right? So I think because we are finally aware of this, and we have a really good understanding that we would be a cheater. We literally would go back to our old ways had we not had gotten so much conviction to be who we are today and just simply say, no, I've had enough pumpkin pies in my life. I don't need to ever have it again. Nobody else is better or worse or whatever that looks like. I've had the beautiful, huge scoop of homemade whipped cream on top with all the sugar, but I don't need to do that anymore. I have found my joy and my peace in being healthy. And I will be completely honest with you. Even the poundage I bought, I didn't buy it, but I got from the dairy this year. I felt so gross. Like I had to talk myself off a ledge of like, that was so stupid. Why do you do it? Well, no, it wasn't stupid. You did it for a reason. You gained the weight, but now you sit there like, oh, what's that fupa and what's the back fat and what's this and what's that? And why did I even do it? And it was not wrong. All it was with heavy whipping cream.
Right.
So mentally, we must be safe first in order to give up those treat days. And do you feel that way, Carrie? Do you feel like you would, let's just say hypothetical, could you have one piece of pumpkin pie?
Never. And it's like, again, I'm not judging anyone. Everyone's different. They can do whatever they want. But I was so sick, and I was just praying to God, give me anything. So it feels almost wrong in that regard too. Like, oh no, I'm gonna have a little piece of pumpkin pie and just take all of this sort of for granted. But I've heard so many horror stories, and the thing that has really helped me that I guess people don't understand when they're like, oh, Mr. Perfect never cheats. I cheated so much when we did keto. There was a stretch where it was like every Saturday and I would just go off the rails, and it would never be one day for me. I would cheat on a Saturday, turn it into the weekend, turn it into, well, the first of the month is 7 days away. And before you knew it, I'm just horribly sick. And the thing I realized on Carnivore, I've said this before, is not one of those probably hundreds of times that I cheated did I ever afterwards say, gee, I'm glad I did that. I deserved it. And now I felt better. It was always shame and misery and stomach aches and yeah, a lot of regret for sure. So
definitely a lot of regret. And I have never gone off carnivore since I went carnivore. I literally started on February 14th, which was an interesting day, but the kids had brought home 2 pounds of gummy bears, chocolate covered gummy bears, my absolute favorite thing in the whole world. And I put my hand in the bag. I had not even gone carnivore. And I put my hand in the bag and I went to put them in my mouth. And I was like, I don't want these. I just don't want to be obese anymore. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be in pain. Sad. I was extremely sad. I had a lot of I didn't know I was depressed, but now in hindsight, I think maybe I was depressed. I would still have to go back and really dig into those emotions. And I took the bag and I put it on the counter. I go, girls, you're so sweet for getting me these for me, but I don't want them. And they're like, what? They're your favorite. One day won't hurt you. Just have a few. I was like, no, I'm just not interested. And I wasn't even carnivore then. I was just being, eating better. I actually was juicing, going Whole Foods. It was like a completely different world, but I was not doing sugar. And if I would have done that, I would have broke that loyalty to myself, my pinky promise to myself, my commitment to myself, and my integrity said, let's not do that. And I'm forever grateful for that day. Really, I moved forward. I went to carnivore that afternoon. I literally was like, this meat thing. I went from veggies in the morning. I had 8 juicers made. We had just spent $450 on a juicer. I went and bought the bottles. I had all the fruit and veggies, and I made up these things, and they're sitting in the fridge because, doing Kenneth's liver detox. And I said, we're going carnivore tonight. And that was it. I threw everything out, never touched it, never used that. I actually gave away that juicer. I'm done. So we never went back. And I've never regretted it. That's the bonus, is that everything else in life that I've ever done, and I've done it all, every single program out there, thousands of dollars to end up obese.
Yeah.
Fat, sick, tired.
Jen and I did the juice thing too. I remember we watched a documentary and did that for a while, all the juicing. I was talking to someone the other day. Was it Adam? I don't know, but we were talking about, but just hypothetically, if you were on death row and you were going to die in a half an hour,
last meal, you
could have a last meal. I was going through all of them, and I said, I'm just so stubborn that out of principle, it would be a fatty ribeye. I wouldn't even be my first thought was Oreo cookie cake. My mom used to make this Oreo cookie cake thing. It's just junk. And I'm like, no, I want to go out just out of principle. I'm going to want to go out on a big fatty ribeye. Keep the ice.
You know, Carrie, I feel the same way. I feel like if somebody gave me my last meal, I feel like my integrity and my principle. As a matter of fact, the thought Oreos was a weakness for me as well. My daughter used to make this Oreo cheesecake, with the Oreo bottom and the cheesecake in it. It was absolutely amazing. But when I think today of that going in my system, I could almost like be sick just knowing that I would do it.
Yeah.
That's how much, I don't even know how to explain that, but my body is so anti-sugar and even fruits and vegetables. Like I'd never go in a grocery store now and ever think to myself, wow, I really wish I could eat that pineapple. My daughter the other night made this beautiful pineapple bowl that had rice and teriyaki chicken on it. I was like, oh, that's beautiful, this and that. At one time, I would have immediately gone to the store, bought the pineapple, sliced it open, cooked it, made it beautiful, garnished and everything, and eaten way more than I should have ever eaten. So if we go back to addiction, right? Do you feel that it was the food was the addiction or was the amount that you consumed? And this is what I hear from my clients are like, but if I don't have addiction, can't I have it? Like maybe addiction is you and me and not them. Can they moderate? Can they have a little bit?
I don't feel there's always this conversation. Are you a moderator or are you an abstainer? And maybe it's just me being cynical, but I don't feel like anyone can really moderate. Like there's skinny people out there, but maybe their liver's fatty, right, Coach Lisa? Or they're not healthy
100%.
They're not healthy on the inside. But I feel like, I don't know. I guess there's people that don't get addicted to alcohol and drink it, but I also hear stories like that. And then it's like, well, not yet. And then all of a sudden it happens. Like we have our Auntie Elaine. She don't mind me saying this. She's awesome. She's like the girl's grandma. She's great. The weirdest thing though, she's always been very healthy. On holidays, she would smoke one cigarette. And I'm like, why would you even do that? Why would you even? And that's it for like the whole year. That would be it. And she's like, I don't get addicted. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm wrong. That's crazy. But long story short, she smokes a pack a day now. Like she did this for years too. So in the back of my head, when I hear people say, I'm an abstainer, I can abstain. I'm like, maybe for now, I don't know.
I agree because the addiction was, could she have the holiday and not have the cigarette?
Right.
So let's just flip it. Can you make it through a holiday without a cigarette? If you're not addicted, that would be no problem.
Right.
But if that is something that is a ritual to you and you must do it, then you are somewhat of a slave to that. Right. I mean, everybody's going to see that different. And this could be a very thought-provoking thing and even cause, controversy in the comments, because there's a lot of people who would say, I just smoke a cigar at New Year's every year, or if my wife has a baby, but I'm not addicted to cigars, then stop having the cigar.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I could, but I don't want to. That's what they always say. That's a great point. Everyone leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? Can you abstain? Can you moderate? Are there, my whole thing is like, I always try to share the message on YouTube for the masses. And when you look around in the world and 9 out of 10 people have poor metabolic health and 70% of people are overweight, it's like most people are having problems with this and most people are sick. So I'm speaking to them. And if you're one of the very rare ones, it just isn't for some reason, like I guess.
Okay, but let's just say hypothetical. If somebody was to be brutally honest when they watch this and they're writing in the comments right now, they're listening to us from a really sincere heart place. Like I could go to tears that's fast right now because my pain for people who are in pain and suffering is more than just health. What about finances, right? What about estranged relationships? Where are we at with the rest of the picture? Because yes, your health is a huge portion of that pie, but there's a lot of factors in there. So let's just say somebody goes, oh, I'm a total moderator. I can have one bowl. I can have one scoop of ice cream. Like I'm totally fine. I push it away. Okay. How's your shopping habits? What's your finances like? Are you obsessed with buying animals? Do you have too many horses or goats or cows or like, what is it that you still think is not detrimental to you? Because it's your life. You have a choice. If I want to quit, I quit, right? That's the mindset until it becomes a problem. I don't want to point fingers at anyone or anything like that, never offend anybody. But we've all heard of the Catwoman, right? We've all heard of the dogs being taken away from the lonely lady at the end of the street. She rescued every single dog. Eventually, most people, I would say 1 out of 3 in the studies that I have done, absolutely have a type A personality, addictive personality. And almost all of us, I'd say 98%, have something that we just literally have to abstain from. Otherwise, we fall into not being able to moderate. So maybe somebody right now is being really truthful. I can have 1 baked potato a week and I'm good, right? But I watch people have a baked potato and then they just want to have a handful of nuts. And then after the handful of nuts, they're like, well, it's just blueberries. Dr. Berry says blueberries are okay. And so-and-so said I can have, 1 drink of martini once a week or whatever that looks like. And I'm not disagreeing with those people. And maybe there are people out there. All I'm saying is until you have true confession and you really come to terms with yourself, I would say my words of wisdom and all my heart is to be very, very careful. And I don't even think, Carrie, you and I are almost identical time on being carnivore. I would have to say at this point, that is not a safe area for me. And I am a coach. I move people. I work with their mindset. I do all of that. And I have to heal myself too, right? Like every day I have to walk my talk. Because if I slowly went there, even with just a splash of heavy whipping cream in my bone broth, I didn't do anything wrong. But all of a sudden she starts gaining weight. What are they going to say? What does that look like? It looks like either you're lying or you're cheating or something isn't working here, and I'm going to step away from carnivore. And that's the last thing we want. We want people to come to carnivore. We want them to get the healing, and we have to walk our talk. That's where we draw the line between being a moderator or abstainer. And I'm an abstainer 100%. I don't want to be the guinea pig anymore. I'm tired of that. I want to be like Maggie in Canada. And I want to say, I won't have 65 years of life left, but if God graciously gave that to me, I want to be that woman. There we go. Bam. There's the woman right there. I want to be that. If you have a seagull, make it that, whether you're a man or you're a woman, is that you want to live, with this energy, it's so much more. Yes, we're going to be healthy. And yes, we're going to lose weight. And yes, we're going to feel balanced. And our chemicals are going to be on spot. Our salt, our magnesium, potassium, sodium, all of it's going to work. But why not be a Maggie? Why not shoot for 65 years of carnivore?
Yeah.
We think 15 years is a long time, right?
65
We know quite
years,
a few people that are 15, 18 years, 16 years. Come on, 65 years?
And
am I wrong on that number or is that right?
That's right. She's been carnivore
Okay.
60, maybe 66 or 67 now at this point. But the thing with her is she's living her life to the fullest. And she has been for 65 years. We were going to make sure we got to get shirts, Coach Lisa. I want to be like Maggie when I grow up.
Yes. And her brain did not get fried from processed food, chemicals, and all the other garbage that our kids are getting.
She's so sharp. It's weird. It's the wisdom and intelligence and sharpness of an 83-year-old, but with the energy of like a teenager. It's the craziest thing ever. She's the coolest person.
And I literally every day, no matter what battle comes my way, as a warrior, I think of Maggie. When I'm at that moment and I'm like, even, like you're getting, I think you actually already are doing the Sean challenge, right? What's that mindset? I can't do it? Or is your mindset, I can do it? And that is the difference between being keto, carnivore, standard American diet, vegan, Mediterranean, whatever it is. You must say, I can do this. That's mental strength is going to help you go the transition without losing your mind from keto to carnivore. And I think every one of us can do it. I know you're there to support them. I'm there to support them. The community's there to support them. There's no need to suffer. All we got to do is just eliminate that processed foods, eliminate the carbs, the vegetables, the fruit, and then just shift over and allow your body, listen to your body, allow your body to talk to you, and you'll know what to do.
Love it. Awesome. I appreciate you so much.
We love you, Maggie.
Lisa. Yeah. Shout out Maggie. Shout out Coach Lisa. I will have links in the description below for everything for Coach Lisa. And make sure you enter the drawing she's got going on right now. You could win one-on-one coaching with Coach Lisa. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Take care and God bless.